The shelves in Puerto Rico are mostly empty because of the water crisis that continues today. Woke up this morning, tried to turn on the faucet, there's still no water. Now, news reports have been telling us, we do know that the water crisis is expected to continue through the week. Some were saying that it's expected to come back later today or tomorrow, right? That's what the official story is, but many of us already know that we tend to not trust that. And so as I've been sort of waiting for my car to get fixed, we woke up at 6 a.m, took the car, got the new battery, headed straight to go buy some water, and the shelves were empty. Of course they're empty. And I can't get out of my head the people that have been talking to reporters, the elders, la ancianita, que you could hear the cries of desperation in their voice. And I think about the fact that these are situations, right, that have been going on in Puerto Rico for decades, with communities, especially after Maria, not having water or power for close to a year or more than a year, right? And so when we think about the infrastructure issues here and the lack of care that the government takes on public health in general, right, we know that this is just by design. We don't expect that the government here is really going to do much. So it takes a community continuing to put pressure on them to do what's right. And one of the things that I read this weekend was about the fact that the cost of the repairs of these 3 different ruptures on the main line is going to be something upwards of like close to $1 million, maybe 300,000 to $1 million. But the point is, who's going to be paying for that, right? Is there a fund that's going to be paying for that? I don't know. I'll do my best to find out. The other thing is that the governor of Puerto Rico has said that they're going to be conducting a study that should have been done a while ago, right? She likes to point fingers at previous administrations, even though she's been in office for 20 years, or she's been in politics, right, in Puerto Rican politics, with a role in politics for over 20 years. She could have at any point submitted some kind of legislation in the past to address this, but she's been governor since 2024, and a lot of people have been criticizing her since then. But the point is, the study that she's talking about is going to cost $4 million, right? Again, who's paying for that? How is that going to get funded? How are the Puerto Rican people who are already under so much strain, right, with water bill that they have to pay, even if they don't have service, they're expected to pay their water bill. So anyway, stay tuned for more on that. We hope and we pray that we get the water very soon. There's a lot of vulnerable communities that need access to water. It is a basic human right. I also want to mention that if anybody is interested in learning more about how we got here, there is a virtual event happening for free this Wednesday. Registration is in my bio, it's in my stories. Please sign up for that. That is just the first step that you can do as a concerned Puerto Rican, as a concerned ally. Listen to the voices here that have been talking about the crisis, that have been pointing to some of the reasons for this crisis.